where do I start? Where do I get my rhythm? Where do I get my groove?
I always start off with a bounce. You just start with a bounce, and then you see.
I'm part of the baddest game, most successful game in the world. I went to Portugal this year, and the young tour guide goes, "It's Doris Burke from 2K." It wasn't Doris Burke, the announcer. It was Doris Burke from 2K.
Oh! Okay, all right, that's it. That's payback. We're good. We're good. The game can end.
Oh, Giannis. Look at Giannis taking over the game. Great first pick by Miz.
It's Friday night and live on 2 and with tip-off. He's done a terrific job. Thanks, David. And here's a look at some numbers for Simmons.
And he's not passing the ball as well this month. If you look at his numbers from earlier in the season, he's not seeing the court as well. It may be a little too focused on creating his own shot than orchestrating for the guys around it.
Now a look at Philadelphia's starting lineup. The talented combo up front, Horford and Embiid. Then there's Ben Simmons. Then there's Harris. And it's Thibault in at the shooting guard. And for Dallas, Doncic and Hardaway at the 2 and the 3. Inside at the 4 and the 5, Porzingis and Powell. And it's George in at the 1. Bucket is good. Two outstanding teams we're going to see moments from now, Doris.
And Kevin, this is not just a regular season game on the schedule. The fans are ready for this. The players understand. Listen, we've got two quality teams, potentially could meet in the postseason. Woo-hoo-hoo, look out tonight.
And look how excited you are. Your notes, you're standing on your feet. You're right with them. I love it.
I can't wait.
Fires from deep. Drills the three-pointer. George has got 5.
You know, there's an unselfishness to Luka Doncic, and a pretty pass right there.
And it's Simmons.
Wow! Young fella. You can't let Simmons get going off of these dunks. His confidence just soars when he slams it down like there.
Lob pass to George. Deflects the pass. Here's Thibault. Guarded by Doncic.
You know, when you drive the lane, you have to know where Porzingis is, because with his reach, he can sneak up and send that shot away anytime.
Just over a minute and a half played here in this one. Horford dishes to Harris. No good on the 3. Dallas has gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. And George, here we go.
How about the balance and body control? Simmons able to send that one packing.
George against Simmons. On the wing, Hardaway. Yep, that one goes.
And once he got to the 10, I think he was surprised to find himself that wide open.
And I think defensively, that is not the way you want to start. Giving up high percentage looks, that doesn't typically end well.
Here's Thibault. Tim Hardaway making his last shot. Simmons, and he makes good on the layup. He has 6.
I admire Simmons' ability inside. That's where he's an elite finisher.
And here's George for 3. Horford with the rebound. So for the 76ers, their last game, a win against the Bulls.
And I'll tell you, for all the intangibles that Al Horford brings to the table every night, the leadership, there is such a humble, authentic, unselfish nature that I think sets the tone for the whole team.
It's rebounded by Dallas, fresh from a win against Portland.
Yeah, and that one, their rebounding was the difference. Big disparity between the two teams.
That was a coach's dream, to get that kind of effort and intensity on the glass, and for it to pay those kinds of dividends, critical.
And the veteran leader, Al Horford, a calm, quiet locker room presence, Doris, but his words carry a lot of weight.
No doubt, Kevin. Why? Because he's always team first, because he plays the game the right way, and this helps create a culture of winning. It's why Al Horford is so coveted.
And that one's good. George. 8 lead changes now, and we're still just in the first half.
And I'm not sure I've seen a game with more lead changes this early.
And the 76ers decide to take their first time out here. And the Mavericks with some changes. Maxi Kleber, he's checked in for Dwight Powell. Dorian Finney-Smith comes in for Tim Hardaway Jr. And it's Seth Curry in for Luka Doncic. Now here's Simmons. He had 25 points in the win against Chicago.
Well, you also have to credit the way he controlled the pace of the game and was able to create for his teammates.
Passes it to Finney-Smith. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up.
And really the defense fouling there to prevent the layup, but that's exactly.
There is so much to love about Kristaps Porzingis. Over 7 feet, sweet shooting jumper, but aggression. This guy will back down from no one.
That free throw good from Doncic. And Doris, Porzingis not only quick to adapt to the NBA game, but also the culture.
I think it helps, Kevin, that he got tutored in the English language starting in grade school. And think about it, Kevin. This man wore his hair in cornrows back then, emulating the NBA players he saw. So both linguistically, culturally, and basketball-wise, it wasn't too big an adjustment for him.
Doncic and Hardaway at the 2 and the 3. Dwight Powell is out there with Porter. And it's George in at the point guard position. That's the lineup in the game for Dallas. And here's the fast break. Richardson leading the way. And the lead is down inside single digits. Richardson's got 6 here in this quarter. Mavericks leading by 9. Quarter 2 and just under 2.5 minutes gone by. George, no good. The 76ers have gotten just over 50% of their shots to drop here in the second quarter. They're 5 for 9. And he comes up with the deuce. Thibault's got 6 points. And so George will bring it up for the Mavericks. Goes up at the stripe, and he gets the jumper to drop. He's got 10.
Well, there's an unpredictability to his offensive game. He is always keeping the defense off balance.
And that's out of bounds. Philadelphia will retain possession. Zingas, he's checked in for Otto Porter Jr. Here is Harris off the inbound. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. It's on Porzingis. Doris, this game always evolving. Fascinating to see the players who drive that change with their unique talents find a way to do things different.
Well, probably 2 guys currently that have revolutionized the way the game is played. Stephen Curry, with the incredible range he has on his three-point shooting. You've got to guard him as soon as he crosses the half-court line. And honestly, if the goal would be good from the other side of the half-court, he'd probably push it to out there. And James Harden, so prolific at drawing fouls. It might be maddening to the fans of opposing teams, but James Harden has led the NBA or been at the top of the free throw attempts list for years now.
Great example. Now here is George. Last game, an incredible scoring display for him. Bangs home the trifecta.
And that gets him going here in the second after hitting 2 from long range in that first.
Pass to Harris. Here's Thibault, guarded by Doncic. It's not going to go for him. And it's Dallas the other way. And guys, this is the first they're seeing of the 76ers this year.
Should be an interesting game as these teams don't see a lot of each other being from different conferences.
Right, they'll meet 2 times this year, East versus West. Let's see which team can enforce their style of play.
Philadelphia with the ball, following the 3 from George. Here's Thibault. A 23-point game for him in the win against the Bulls in Chicago.
That's a shot he's got to hit. You don't get many looks better from that range.
And the dunk by Powell.
A lot to like about the way they're playing right now, but still plenty of time left.
You do like that the offense is humming along. They're putting in the effort to distance themselves.
Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. Here's Thibault. Guarded by Doncic. 6 to shoot. Looking to end the run. Doesn't get it to drop for him. And stolen by Harris. No good on the last second attempt there. And so it's the... Thank you, David. We'll be back after halftime for the start of the second half. And after a very lopsided first half, we'll see if things play out a little more evenly here in the second. It's been one outstanding game from George.
And you know he's going to put up points every time out, but boy, he made it look so easy in that first half.
Now let's see if he continues that trend the rest of the way. He certainly has the talent and the endurance to do just that.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade for the second half of basketball. So on the floor for Philadelphia, big forward pair. Harris the 3 and Horford the 4. Then there's Embiid. Then it's Simmons. And it's Thibault in at the 2 guard. Okay, well, let's check in with David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sideline.
Kevin, Josh Richardson has made himself into one of the top defensive wings in the league. Richardson says there's a certain competitiveness that comes with being a good defender. The defensive end takes will, and I have a lot of it. Kevin J. Rich is self-described as super competitive. And that edge is what drives him.
It sure is. That's what it takes. Thank you, David. George against Simmons. Right side, George. Powell, that's good.
I'll tell you, even with some physical contact, Powell gets it done. Love his persistence.
The 76ers trail by 14. A live body off the bench. Dwight Powell gives you productive minutes.
He does, Kevin, and that's most reflected in the plus-minus when you look at his stats. This is a guy who hasn't averaged a ton of minutes, but he scores and he defends at a high level when he's given those minutes.
Maxi Kleber, he's checked in for Dallas. Curry comes in for Tim Hardaway Jr. Ryan Brokoff's checked in for the 76ers. Harris, bounce pass, 5 on the clock. Horford, nice follow through on the fadeaway.
Boy, everyone is getting to their spots and then capitalizing. 3 for 4 in the quarter, beautiful.
George against Embiid, rebound by the 76ers. Embiid's got his 5th rebound in this one. Here's Harris. Porzingis with the rebound. Porzingis has got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. And the layup falls. Kleber's got 6.
How good a playmaker are we watching? Always leading, always trying to create for others.
Here's Simmons. Porzingis with the block. Lets a floater go. They get the rebound, and it's good for 2. Curry's got his first 2 points of the night.
They're getting on a roll inside. Their last 3 field goals have come from the paint.
Embiid, the pass to Harris. Back to Embiid. Good. And Harris gets the assist. And it's 6 points for Joel Embiid.
Well, use the pick and going right to the cup. I love the aggressiveness.
And Dallas calls their first time out of the game. Doris, you played, you've coached, you've broadcast, you've done it all in this business. How did you like to be coached when you... There's 42 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Iguodala kicks to Richardson. And it's right, sending it back. The shot from 20 feet away. And Philadelphia grabs the miss. Embiid's got his 6th rebound on the night.
He's tried to get it going, but the shots simply have not been there. Nothing seems to be falling.
Now, here is George. From deep, sinks it. What range from outside. Wow. George has got 19 points.
And obviously his momentum from the last game has carried over here tonight.
No, I think that's the one thing every player is searching for. Consistency. They're giving this guy a chance to carry the offense once again.
And so it's Dallas, finishing the quarter up by a whopping 24 points. The scoring has been tremendous, and they are shooting lights out with very high accuracy. We've got more in store for you right after this. Coach Brett Brown with some words for his players.
It's going to take everything you got to come up.
And there may not be a lot of drama down the stretch as we head into the 4th quarter, but stranger things have happened. Hardaway and Porzingis in at the forward slots. Then it's DeLon Wright. Then there's Dwight Powell, and it's George in at the point. That's the lineup in the game for Dallas.
He's found his rhythm from deep, and you can see the confidence.
And I think the defender knows once he gets cooking, look out. The bucket looks awfully big to him right now.
And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. Doris, when you look at the success of international players, and the league has a litany of very good international players, Doncic being the latest success story, is the perception changing about these kids when they come from overseas and play in the NBA?
Well, one of the greatest, and then to me, the greatest international player of all time, Dirk Nowitzki, a Hall of Fame player, probably changed the perception to start with. Now, listen, over the years, Luka is going to have perhaps a Hall of Fame career if he stays healthy. The reality is this. The NBA is looking for the best players to man those 15 roster spots of the 30 NBA teams. It doesn't matter where you're from, what the color of your skin is. If you can play the game of basketball and play it at the highest level, the NBA wants you to be a part of their league.
Releases. Up again. It's good on the putback. Marjanovic has got his first basket of the night.
And with the success they've had rebounding the basketball, they're right where you'd expect them to be, firmly in the driver's seat.
Back to Bullock. 76ers moving the ball around. Dishes it to Lynn. And Boban Marjanovic picks up the foul. That's his first foul. And some changes here for the Mavericks. Dwight Powell's checked in for Marjanovic. Porzingis comes in for Dorian Finney-Smith. And Luka Doncic subbed in for Otto Porter Jr. Here's Thibault. Shot clock at 5. And George gets the whistle that time. That'll be his second foul of the game. Doris, when you look at draft eligibility requirements, it is a very fluid topic with a lot of different ways it could go, a lot of moving parts. Where do you stand?
I'll tell you the truth, Kevin. I'm conflicted about this because I believe there is real value to the college experience. There's high-level coaching across the game at the collegiate level, but I also believe that young men who have talent should be able to, when they are eligible, decide when they want to become professionals. So, listen, I'm sort of in the middle. There are legitimate arguments to be had for both sides. What I hope, regardless, is we get the best players in the league, and that's certainly going to happen whenever it happens.
Porzingis with the block. From deep three-point range, that's good for George on the assist by Doncic. George has got 6 here in this quarter.
And they have been relentless from deep. And you see the defense trying to react, but to no avail.
Well, that's the whole point, isn't it, Greg? If you space the floor well enough, it's almost impossible for the defense to account for everyone.
Got a piece of it. And there's the pass to Porzingis. It's hauled in by Harris. And so it's Harris who will bring it up for the Philadelphia 76ers. Porzingis against Simmons. Horford has a wide open look. They can't stop the run with that one. For Dallas, they've gone 4 of 7 from the field since the beginning of the 4th. George against Simmons. And it's George missing. For Philadelphia, they've gone 1 of 5 from the field here in the fourth. A lot of misses, just the one make. And that one's good, Simmons.
Well, that's not the guy you want guarding him at the rim. Just too much of a differential in terms of size.
The three from George. Good. And the assist goes to Doncic. Doncic has got assist number 5 here tonight.
The man has no heart, and that's poor defense for a team that has a long way to catch up.
Well, credit the offense, though. If you're going to come with casual defensive effort, this team's responsibility is to take advantage, and they do. Well, the defense flat out awful right there, and he couldn't punish them for their mistake.
And so it's going to end up in the record books as a blowout, a dominating performance for the Mavericks.
You don't see this kind of a blowout often, but tonight this is a quality win across the board to deliver out this kind of punishment.
They definitely never changed the approach. They just kept after it and showed they were clearly the better team in just about every single category.
And so now on the year, they'll have 35 wins to their credit.
And with the win approaching, they'll take the first game here of 2 that they'll play against this team. Nice to get that first one out of the way and set the tone.
And you know, looking back at all the contributions tonight, it was a really phenomenal all-around game for George.
They simply can't stop him right now. This guy playing with passion and focus.
Remember the time, Doris, when it was rare to see stars changing teams? Now we read about it every day.
No question, Kevin. Think back to my formative years watching the NBA as a fan. Larry Bird was a Boston Celtic. Magic Johnson was a Los Angeles Laker. The trend in today's NBA is that shorter player contracts, more player control over where they want to be. And the reality is this, Kevin, at some point, free agency entered the equation. It's appropriate, it's fair, they've earned the right to choose where they play.
And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. The first free throw is good. So he picks up just 1 from the line that time.
Yeah, he cuts the deficit a little bit, but not as much as he could have. One miss can make a big difference.
Here's Marjanovic, and the rebound paying off as they pick up 2 on the second chance bucket right there.
Convincing lead with very little time remaining, and the fans are pumped.
Well, they're getting ready to celebrate, no doubt, GA. They know it's theirs to lose at this point.
Yeah, that's a bad move there. Stops the clock and puts the other side on the line.
Well, Kevin, how about the Harvard grad, Jeremy Lin? How far has this guy come from nearly out of the NBA at one point to viable NBA starter? Incredible.
And again for 3. Buries his 10th triple of the game.
Unbelievable.
Bolden passes to Lin. Good on the bucket.
You have to enjoy watching Jeremy Lin work the pick and roll. This guy totally loses the defense with his quick decision making.
The 3 from George. It's good.
Saw the opportunity to put this away and did not turn it down.
Yeah, playing with great energy and great effort. And as a coach, every single night.
So no problem for Dallas as they get the win. They poured it on tonight. Dominant showing in front of a crowd that loved every minute of it.
And you know, this game could really be a defining one for what they can do when they are playing at their best. I mean, being here at home, no doubt.
Pick and roll defense is crucial.